Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Peace salutations to the brothers and sisters who are pushing and listening and learning for this truth with truth and sincerity. This is Tawab Yashar, just with a back with another quick little breakdown. I ain't really been having the best day, and I know a lot of Akim and Aqua have to go through this, but I'm speaking more so for the Akim. This is more so of a uplifting, words of encouragement, because as we head into these last days, it's just getting we starting to feel the pressure more, and with that pressure, it comes with some things that just some things in our life, they tend to start to get out of whack, or somebody in your family or your spouse or your wife or whatever, they may just come out of nowhere, with some bullshit. So the devil, Satan is definitely using people close to you, because if he can't get to you, then he's using people close to you, around you, near you, within the same vicinity. He's just doing what he can to cause you to fall off your walk, or fall off that path that you're on. And what we should always do is just as Yahushua said, stay steadfast in the faith, in the words that I've given you, and that's ultimately what us brothers and men and husbands should dwell on, and should be keeping our minds on. And I was just watching a lesson not too long ago, and the brother brought it out perfectly. He said we should be getting an F in husbandry. A lot of our women, they used to this westernized society, this Babylonian mindset of they're first, they should be, they're the main priority. And a lot of the times, and they'll even go as far as to disrespect you as being a man in the truth, because a lot of women, they when you go into the word feminine, it goes basically, the root word goes into faithless. So at the root of it all, women are faithless to begin with. So when it comes to knowing this knowledge and this truth, the faithlessness is going to come even more, because you're speaking on all these extraordinary things and events to happen and to come, and a lot of them are already happening. You trying to get them to see it, but they just don't see it. They see things from a carnal point of view. And a lot of women, as I said before, they have to start going through stuff in order to start seeing things how they are. They have to be affected in some kind of way in order for, and that's how a lot of these heathen nations are too. A lot of them don't see it, but until their way of life is starting to be affected. And right now it's not happening, because that first lockdown, it was just a test run, just to see how people was going to react. And obviously they got with the reaction that they wanted, because as we see, they're just spearheading this MOTB and getting ready to unleash it and unveil it. But it takes moderation, and certain chaoses and certain things have to happen in order for these things to come about. And as a man in the truth, when you're trying to explain that to your wife or your woman or even your husband, sometimes, and then they just don't get it, they don't see it, they think you acting weird, or you taking it too serious, or just that they're just exuding that lack of faith. And you're supposed to be equally yoked, especially with the one who you're sharing a household with. But a lot of times, just your faith alone, can bring them through. Or maybe I'm not Yahushua, so I can't necessarily say that they'll have compassion on the whole family. They just might have compassion on you, and you only because you held that standard. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times, what we go through, it's our own affliction, and it's our own strengthening of our faith and our spirit. You know what I mean? So, because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai said it. You know, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know. So at the end of the day, you can expound how you feel about things, and you know how you feel about the way life is and how it's going to happen and how it works. But if they can't see it, you know, there's nothing you can do. You could just pray, you know, in time that their eyes will be open. But at the same time, you know, ultimately the Heavenly Father is the governor of our lives. So he governs what goes on, how they think, and you know how he feels about it, because ultimately he's reading their hearts. So, and your heart goes into your mind. So whatever you have in your mind all day, eventually you're gonna have it in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So it construes your way of perceiving life, and you look at life in a different perspective. So you might look at it opposite of how it's really going, because in your heart or in your mind, you keep telling yourself it's contrary to what's happening, to what's really happening. So, you know, I'm gonna stop ranting on, but just going into just a couple verses, just dealing with loneliness, is Hebrews 10 and 25. I'll start at 19. Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holiest by the blood of Yahweh Shai. And what we're doing, this is the boldest thing that we can do, you know, to forsake our old ways of living, you know, our dreams that we had, living in Babylon, you know, wanting to be a basketball star, or, you know, make music, or, you know, become a famous artist, whatever it is, you know, that would ultimately boost you up within this society. You know, we as true men of the Lord, you know, we want to forsake what we can get on this side for, you know, what Yahweh Shai can give us. Because, you know, what he says he can give us, what he can give us is 100 times better than, you know, what we can get on this side. And then the people that do get success on this side, they already got their reward. So they're already set up to be, either they're set up to be spoiled, meaning robbed and killed, you know, in these last days, or, you know, ultimately they've already they got their heaven on this side, basically. So what's the need of you know, if you felt like you got everything on this side, you know, why would Yahweh Shai and Yahweh give you something even more better on the other side from them? So, you know, what you're doing when you forsake those old ways of living and that old mindset, you know, that's like the boldest thing you can do, because a lot of people are, you know, too worried about what everyone else has to say or how everyone else feels about them. And, you know, you should only be caring about what Yahweh and Yahweh Shai think about you. And if you're, you know, if they see that you're willing to forsake the ways that you were brought up in Babylon to, you know, live a new life for them, you know, they pretty much count that as bold, you know, and it is. Where's that? 19. By a new and living way which he had consecrated for us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh. See, and us following the ways of Yahweh Shai, you know, that's that new way of life that I was just talking about. You know, you put off that old way of living and you start that new way of living, and that new way of living is following after Yahweh Shai, and you know, keeping our laws and statutes and commandments to the best of our abilities, you know, but ultimately, you know, keeping on the same mindset and attitude as Yahweh Shai had. So to follow after him, you know, is pretty much, you know, like, that's like the best sibling or person you could actually look up to and have an admiration for, because ultimately what he did was true boldness. You know, he didn't. He was already brought up in a bold manner. You know, preaching and prophesying and doing miracles and works as young as the age of 12. So yeah, you know, if there's anybody on this side of the earth that we should be looking forward to and looking up to and following after, that's Yahweh Shai, and not these celebrities and entertainers that Esau Edom, you know, the spiritual manifestation of Satan, you know, who he puts in front of us. So, going on. I'll start at 22. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. And that's what I mean, you know, forsaking that old mindset and that old way of Babylon, you know, thinking you can get rich being a ball player, or winning the lottery, or, you know, just doing some sort of vain things for a compensation, you know, for a little bit of money that they're making. You know, it doesn't make no sense, you know. So once you learn this wisdom and knowledge and truth, you begin to wash your mind and to, you know, cleanse yourself of that filthiness of wanting, you know, these dainty things in this world. You know, the life on this side, you know, because ultimately we know this shit is going to end. It's going to get burned up. So, you know, as when you come into this truth and then you learn these things, you know, that should ultimately help you renew your mindset. And, you know, like that term brainwashing, you know, and it's like, good, yeah, I am brainwashed, you know, I'm cleansing my mind of that impurity, you know what I mean? So, you know, I take that term with, you know, with honor, you know what I mean? Yeah, I am brainwashed because I wash my consciousness and not only my consciousness, but my spirit and my mindset. I've washed it and made it pure and clean again, you know? So, you know, I'll take that compliment any day. You know, it even says it, in our bodies washed with pure water, you know, and that water is this word, this knowledge and truth. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith. So like it's a bug. So like it. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And, you know, that's a lot of things that happen, you know, when when you come to the terms of, you know, when you first get that honey of the truth, you know, it's sweet because, you know, you find out you're an Israelite, you know, you find out you have a nationality, you come from somewhere, you have a culture, you have a way of living, and not only that, but you're also connected universally and genetically to the Most High God, Yahweh, and His Son, our brother, Yahweh Shah. You're connected to the most powerful beings on the earth. You know, He is, you know, the man who made these trees and the skies, the water, you know, everything. You're connected to, you're a family member of that, you know, and that ultimately, you know, that's a good feeling when you read that, you find that out on your own. And then when you start telling people, you know, or you may tell your wife or, you know, your brothers or girlfriend or whoever, you know, at the time, you know, you telling them and they may believe, but after a certain point and things are not happening, you know, because you speak on FEMA camps and death camps and, you know, chariots, and, you know, you're speaking on the mysteries, the meat, so to speak, of the prophecies. And, you know, at first they believe because, you know, you may bring out documents, facts, videos, you know, you break it all down for them and they believe. But after so much time, you know, the prophecies, they seem like they tarrying. So to them, it just seems like it's taking too long, you know. So they begin to waver in their faith. But, you know, you as a man of the Most High, you know, as a true believer and a true sincere, you know, man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you want to hold fast the profession, hold fast to that doctrine that you learned, the true doctrine, and hold fast to the words that was prophesied to you, and don't waver in your faith and think oh, maybe it ain't gonna happen, maybe I'm just hyping myself up, don't get to second guessing yourself, because Satan ultimately used, that person that you care about the most. He may have used them, he may have caught them slipping and caught them while they're vulnerable and used them to, ultimately knock you off your path, or to try and cut you down, so to speak, try and take you off that good feeling that you on, you on fire for the Most High. You want to try and put that out. So he'll use someone close to you. You may be watching a lesson or, whatever, y'all talking about something, and, your wife, I'm just, because this is more so for the brothers, your wife, she may all of a sudden start feeling sorry because all these other nations got to go into captivity and slavery. You know what I mean? Or, she may start doubting the names or something. And then it's you just feel like you doing everything for no reason. You get what I'm saying? But it's not within vain, as Yahushua said, He comes with a reward. So, anyways, continuing on. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. And that day approaching is the day of Yahushua returning. So as we come into this knowledge and wisdom and its truth, we're supposed to daily, exhort each other, let each other know when we're, going off on the wrong doctrine, or, you're bringing out the doctrine wrong, or, maybe, just whatever it may be, we're supposed to help each other, shaping each other up. But it's mainly talking about the elect, because the elect are going to be all in agreement of things. You get what I'm saying? From beginning to end. And if you look around, I look as, sometimes I'm scrolling on social media, I'm following all these people, and they all got different beliefs. Some believe in chariots, some don't. Some believe in the name of Yahweh, some don't. But yet they want unity. They want Israel to come together, and it's not gonna happen like that. It's only for the elect to come together, because only the elect are gonna be in agreement of these things. So if you feel like you're of the elect and your household is of the elect, it's kind of hurtful, and it kind of discourages you. When someone close to you, whether it be your kids or, your wife or, your mom or whoever, they may say something like, I don't believe in that shit. Or, they just may utter out something that they totally wouldn't say usually. But, ultimately we gotta understand that Satan is at work, and he can use, if he can't get to you, he gonna use somebody close to you who ain't keeping their spirit on guard. So, brothers, we just gotta remain strong. Know that everything is gonna come to pass. You ain't been wrong yet. So, why start down now? Especially now. They bringing up the chip on the news, and niggas been, I hate to say niggas, but brothers, they've been bringing that out from even on up from the apostles. They've been bringing that up since the early 90s, early 2000s. They start talking about the RFID. So, and then here we are 20 years later, 19 years later, and they bringing out the RFID on the news. So, it's just about, like it's saying, staying steadfast in the profession of our faith, I'm gonna go to still in Hebrews, so to 13 and 5. let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things that ye have. For he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Come. And when it comes to like speaking to your loved ones or something like that, like you shouldn't even we should never be worried about. And a lot of the times, a lot of brothers may be in situations where they may not be, working at the time, or bills is kind of piling up, or just life ain't really been working out for you, and then women, they're very in the moment creatures. So in that moment you may be calm because your faith is just so your foundation is just is solely based around your faith. You may be calm in the spirit and calm of the situation, but your wife, she may not be. And then you trying to bring out scriptures and trying to comfort them with the word and with some videos, and all of a sudden they don't want to hear it. They telling you they don't want to hear that shit, or they ain't in the mood for it. And it, as men, like that's ultimately us men trying to show our wives that we love them, by bringing out the scriptures, bringing out the word, to let them know that all these things have to happen. We have to go through afflictions, we have to go through tribulations and trials, but we still shouldn't, even though we go through them, we know that's a part of the process, that's a part of the refinement, and we still shouldn't let those situations have us speaking wild in the mouth, or saying stuff to each other, or being jealous of, just being jealous of what other people have going on in their lives. Because when you ain't really got, well, not really when you ain't got nothing going on, but when you see other people are doing well, during these times, it kind of tends to leave you thinking like, well, damn, like what am I doing wrong that I'm not living like them? Or your wife may say, oh, well, you need to get back out there, and you need to try harder, and this and that. And it's like, okay, I get it. I got my duties as a man, but I also know that I also have a duty from the Heavenly Father, which is more important. Within that manhood of me being a man is to let you know and to let everyone else know what the hell is going on. Now, as far as our lot and how the things that we go through, sometimes, the Heavenly Father just wants you to sit down sometimes and do His work, and then He'll help you, get what you need, And continuing on, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. I just said that. Literally just said that. So, it comes to that point. So, we have to do what's important for us, which is, not only uplift ourselves and comfort ourselves with the word and with His knowledge and wisdom, but, comfort others too. So, when it comes to taking care of the things that we need to take care of, we already know we have that ultimate help. We know who's helping us achieve these things, and then within due time things will start to manifest itself and turn out for the better. But you also, you have to sometimes listen, and listening requires you to sit down and really observe which direction you're going in life. Things may not be working out for you because spiritually you're weakened. You ain't been studying, you ain't been reading up, you ain't gave out no lessons, you ain't prayed as much, or that gap in prayer, whatever it may be, that events that are weakening your spirit, can also ultimately have something to do with the way things are turning out in your life. So, we as men, we have to learn how to, solely just worry about with the Most High and with Yahweh and with Salakia, with Yahweh and Yahweh Shai want from us. Because ultimately that is our head and who we have to adhere to. When you think about the divine order of things, it's just, the divine order, Yahweh Shai, man, woman, and child. So, we have to remember that we have an order and we have someone that we have to adhere to. And as long as we do that, then we'll be okay. But our women ain't gonna see that. And, sometimes they can say things to really hurt us or make us feel like we're alone in this thing. And, really we're not. We're never alone, but it can feel that way because ultimately you want to feel like you have somebody within this truth. You want to take this journey and this walk with someone, but they have to be willing to do that with you as well. And if they're not, ultimately you will feel alone. But what I can say is back in Hebrews 10, that's what the whole bringing out, I'll go back to it. Hebrews 10 and 25. Salakia 10 and 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. So ultimately you're not alone. You have brothers to exhort and to be exhorted from, to also adhere to as well. So, no one's ever alone, but what I can say is, we have to, keep pushing and to, just keep the faith in that, ultimately either your spouse will see what you're talking about, before calamity hits, or, sometimes, a lot of things are out of our hands, but ultimately you, as a firm believer, you can't let that, can't let the naysayers or the people around you knock you off your path, and yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave it at that. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. Salakia, all these noises. Yeah, Lord willing, you're edified. Till again, call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash.